Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is the first time that you are joining me. Today I am sat in a different place than normal. I have been sat at my desk that I pull out when I'm working or studying, and I've been doing a bit of studying, and I thought I would take a break and film a tag for my channel. As you can see from the title, I'm doing the More Than a Witch tag, or the What Kind of Witch Am I tag that I've seen a few people do now. I first saw it on Rochelle at Amethyst Ascension's channel, which I'll link that video below. But it was originally started by Abby the Witch, and I shall also link that video down below for you, along with all of the questions. I'm pretty sure when I look at the list of questions that I've answered all of these somewhere else before in different videos throughout my time here on YouTube. But it's been a long time since I've done like a get to know you type of video. I'm umming about doing the questions and Q&A type videos, but I'm just not sure if anybody is really all that interested in that or has any questions. So for now, I'll just do this, and if people want a Q&A video, they can leave me questions below or just tell me to do one or whatever. Anyway, jumping right into the tag, the first question, what's your name and any stories or meanings connected to your name? So this is a really quick question. My name is obviously Heather, which is also currently the name of my channel because I am not feeling particularly creative and I don't know what I want to call my channel. And I put my name in as kind of like a stopgap, and it's been a really long stopgap so far. Although when I first started, my channel was called Geek Girl Does Tarot, which I kind of liked, but it was a bit of a mouthful. Anyway, that wasn't the question. There isn't really any stories or meaning connected to my name, not really, other than the fact that my mother is from Aberdeen and my father is from a place just outside Glasgow called Dunoon, although he grew up in Queensferry. So my parents are very Scottish, and so I have a very Scottish name. Heather is a very Scottish name, and that is kind of that, really. There's no story behind it. Question number 2, how old are you? I am 40 this year. I've turned 40 this year. Question number 3, do you use astrology in your practice, and what are your big 3? I mean, this is specifically about witchcraft. So in witchcraft, yes, to a degree, in that I am very interested in magical timing when appropriate, when I'm not doing something like that needs doing right now. My ears popped. I am very interested in magical timing, and I like to work with astrology in that respect and look at what the moon is in, and also look at what is the right time of day depending on what day of the week it is. And it's something that I don't do as much as I would like to do, but I do when I have the time and the inclination to do it. So to a degree, yes, I use astrology in my practice. My big 3 are I am a Libra sun, Taurus moon, and a Virgo rising. Question number 4, I've definitely answered this before. Did you grow up in a religious household? What religion, and did that influence your current spiritual belief? I did not know. My dad is Presbyterian, which is Church of Scotland, but is a very strong believer that, he is pro-religion, anti-organised religion in his wording. He believes that spirituality, religion, is about a relationship between you and the creator in his world. Like, he's a Christian, he believes in the Christian God, but he believes that religion should be between you and God and no one else. He doesn't believe in the trappings of the church and like an intermediary between you and that relationship. And I guess to an extent that had an influence in that I didn't grow up in a religious household, in that we didn't go to church, we didn't celebrate things like Easter and Christmas as religious holidays. We celebrated them as secular holidays. My mum is an atheist. She's a complete dyed-in-the-wool, you live, you're born, you live, you die, that's the end, atheist. She doesn't believe in anything she can't see, feel, touch, measure, So religion wasn't really talked about in my house. It didn't really have an effect on how we lived our lives, our day-to-day lives, or the choices that we made, or the things that we do. But yes, I think that idea of not needing an intermediary and not needing to be in a specific building or a specific place in order to have a connection with deity is something that clearly has, whether I've always been conscious of it or not, has had some kind of impact on me, in that I am a pagan and I believe that I am connected directly with my deity and that I can worship her and work with her and honour her wherever I am and in whatever way works best for me and her in that moment. So I guess in that respect it kind of did have an influence, but not hugely. Question number 5. What are you manifesting for your future? I don't know. Nothing really. I'm not really working on anything right now. I'm so busy all the time. I guess I just, wealth, health, happiness, right? The usual stuff. I'm quite content with my life at the moment, and I kind of want my life to stay that way. So I'm manifesting contentness and steadiness and stability, I guess, are the kind of things that I'm manifesting that are already here, but that I'm continuing to manifest in the choices that I make and the energy that I send out to the universe and the way that I live right now. If you watch my last video where I did my October what is it called? Witch casket. It's over there. Unboxing. I got a manifestation journal, which I haven't had a chance to crack out and use yet, but I am keen to work with that. So ask me that question again in like a month's time and that answer might be very, very different. But right now I'm just manifesting all of the nice goodness that I have in my life already and just keeping it that way. Question number 6. Do you have a favourite season and what time of year makes you feel most authentically you? Definitely autumn. I think it's the most beautiful time of year, and spring actually. I think spring and autumn are beautiful. The temperature in both is just right. I'm like Goldilocks when it comes to the temperature. It can't be too hot, it can't be too cold. It's got to be just right. And I love, there's so many like holidays around the autumn time that I love. We have bonfire night here. We obviously have Samhain and Halloween, and we have Lammas, which I really enjoy. And it gets darker earlier, which a lot of people don't like, but I love. I don't like so much getting up in the dark, but I love coming home and it's dark and I close my curtains and I snuggle down in front of my telly or with a book or whatever. I love that. I like the colder weather. I like the rain, which is a good job because I live in England. So I just feel like, I guess like the question says, I just feel more authentically me during this time of year. And I do get a lot more insular at this time of year. I start to think a lot more about reflection and journaling and shadow work and all of those kind of things at this time of year. So I love the autumn. I do like the spring too, but autumn is definitely my favourite. Question number 7. Do you have a favourite colour? Do you feel this is your aura colour? And if not, what do you think your aura colour is? I actually don't have a favourite colour. I genuinely don't. I like colour. I would hate to live in a world of just like black and white and, an absence of colour and greys. I would find that very depressing. But I don't really have, I like pinks and reds, I guess. But I also like blues and I like greens and I don't really have a favourite colour. I just like colour in general. I like purples and I like browns, different shades of browns, and which is why I like autumn, because autumn you get such a wide spectrum of colours when the tree leaves are all changing and stuff, and I love that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm a typical Libra in that I'm not very good at answering favourite questions because I'm so indecisive and I want to say all of them. So I'm just going to say, like, colours I don't like so much. I'm not overly keen on certain shades of yellow, and certain shades of orange and that kind of thing, I guess. I don't know. I'm waffling. But I have absolutely no idea what colour my aura is. I have never thought about it, ever. Working with my aura is just not something that I do. It's just not something that I do. So I don't think about it. And I have genuinely not a clue what colour my aura is, or even what colour my aura feels like. I just don't think about it. Question number 8. Do you have a job, career, or lifestyle that makes money or helps support you and or your family in any way, and what do you do? Okay, well, I do. I don't know how interesting this really is, but I do have a full-time job. I work as a clinical resources manager, and I run a department for within a refractive eye surgery private clinic or private company. If that was my elevator pitch, that would be shit, right? That was really bad. Basically, I look after the diaries of 20 clinics, and I take care and look after and make sure that we have all of the things we need for 15 surgeons and currently 25 optometrists. Yeah, that is my job. It's not very exciting at all. Question number 9. What are some things that make you unique and individual? I like this question, but also I would have to say nothing and everything, because I don't think there's anything about me that really stands out. But what I think is what makes me unique and individual, and what I think makes all of us unique and individual, is the very, very specific combination of my likes, dislikes, personality traits, beliefs and ideas and way of speaking and way of dressing, and, you know, like all of those things combined, all of the little things that all combine together to make up me. There is no one else in the world who will have exactly the same combination of all of those things as I do. And I think that is true for all of us. And I think that's what makes everybody unique and individual, is the very specific combination of things that make you you. And, you know, I have people who have lots of things. I have lots of things in common with people. But there is just no one who is specific, who believes all of the same things that I believe, who has all of the same opinions as I do, who has all of the same ways of existing in the world as I do, who likes all of the same hobbies, who dislikes all of the same things, who, you know, there's all the little nuances that go into making me are unique and one-off. And there will be no one in the world who is exactly the same. And that's true for all of us. And I think that's amazing. That's one of the many things about human beings that amazes me, is that there's only so many different ways of being and believing and thinking and feeling, and, you know, only so many things to like and dislike and hobbies to have and stuff. But every single one of us has our own unique combination of those things. It's something I really love and could waffle on about for ages, but I won't. Question number 10. What advice would you give to your younger self? Oh, probably lots of things. My younger self was a mess. That's a story for another day. I think if I could go back and be face to face to my younger self, going through the things that I was going through and at the time, I think my advice would be, none of this is going to matter in another 10 years. It feels like it now, but relatively, none of this stuff is going to matter. It's not worth this. It's not worth it. Maybe. Or possibly sort your shit out. This is ridiculous. That's not good advice though, right? That's just me telling myself off. But yeah, I think just this, you know, it feels like such a big deal now that you're in it. But 10 years down the line, you're not even going to remember some of this stuff. And it's definitely not going to matter. So don't give it so much power. I think that's probably some advice I would give to my younger self, maybe. I don't know. That's the advice I would give to myself right this second, off the top of my head, without giving it too much thought. But yeah. Question number 11, last question. Favourite interests, hobbies or activities outside of witchcraft? I have way too many. I like stuff. I like to do stuff. I live alone. I don't have children. And so I have all the time in the world, other than the fact I have a full-time job, I have all the time in the world to invest in and spend time in and enjoy the things that interest me and that catch my attention. So I end up with a lot. Obviously tarot, which most of you will know if you are watching this video, because you will have probably seen that I do a lot more tarot videos lately than I do witchcraft videos. So definitely tarot. I crochet. I do knit, but not very well. But I crochet, which I love. I am the last year and a half, oh, that light's moved and it's terrible, but there we go. Not much I can do about that. The last year and a half, I've got very, very into language learning. I've discovered this love for language learning as a hobby that I never knew I had. I hated languages in school. And so I've been learning Korean for just under a year and a half. It'll be a year and a half in December for about, yeah, it's about 16 months. And I've now been learning Japanese for 2 months, so very new. So language learning I'm really, really into. I read an awful lot. If I could do nothing else but read, I probably would do that. But I like to do other things, so I don't read as much as I would like at the moment. I also am a perpetual student of anything and everything that interests me, and I'm to the extent that I'm actually in the middle of a psychology degree, part-time psychology degree, because I am fascinated and massively in love with psychology and wanted to study it for no other reason than to study it, at least at the moment. Whether I do something with it when I'm finished, I don't know, but I'm doing it because I am just fascinated by psychology, and I'm fascinated by human beings and human behaviour and the way that we think about things and the way that we behave and all of that stuff. I love all of that stuff. I'm very, very interested in it, and I'm very, very interested in how that knowledge can just help us be better people, can help us deal with the world, can help us live better lives. So I started a degree because I thought it would be fun, and it turns out it's hard work. Also fun, but hard work. Yeah, that might be it. I'm very, very into music. I'm very into movies. I have last year, maybe, end of last year. I don't know. I can't remember if it was I think it was last year. I don't know. Anyway, I got an iPad and I bought Procreate, and I have been learning to draw on my iPad. I'm not very good, but I'm enjoying it, and that's the main thing. So I've been learning to draw on my iPad. I've been really enjoying that. I really, really want to learn to play an instrument of some kind. Not the guitar, I've tried. Maybe like the piano or I always wanted to learn to play the violin when I was younger. Or a flute or something. Like string instruments are definitely my favourite. So I would want it to be like a violin or a cello or something like that. A harp. I don't know where I would put a harp. But I don't have time for that. But I would like to do it at some point. But I also, I love to dance. I really want to have dance lessons, and I want to have singing lessons, and I want to do all of the things, basically. I'm interested in everything. Pretty much everything. And so I never have any time for anything. including witchcraft. So yeah. So there we go. That was the what kind of witch am I tag. Hopefully this was enjoyable and I didn't just ramble at you for however long this video ends up being. Thank you very much for watching. I will try and be back very soon for another one. Take care everyone and lots of love. Bye bye.